They're one of Afghanistan's most lucrative exports. But these drugs are destroying lives here and abroad. There's heroin and increasingly now crystal meth. This an exclusive look at where the meth is coming from. These drugs in southern Afghanistan will be smuggled to countries as far away as Australia. The amount in this room alone would sell there for around £2 million. This is how it's made. Makeshift open-air labs in the desert, under the noses of the Taliban. These trucks are full of a key ingredient. Traffickers here have discovered a common wild plant can be used to produce meth cheaply. Last week, the Taliban banned farmers from picking it, but they're not shutting down the meth labs. This man, with links to the trade, says crystal meth is booming. When the Taliban announced their ban on this plant, he tells me, the wholesale price of meth doubled, and there are still warehouses full of it. It's another dangerous drug, opium, from poppies like these, most commonly associated with Afghanistan. Around 80% of the world's heroin supply originates here. Before the Taliban takeover, opium traders paid off corrupt officials and sold the black paste secretly. Now they've been allowed to open up stalls in markets. We're driving through a bazaar where opium is being sold openly. Much of it is then going to be processed into heroin. The Taliban are not stopping drug production. In fact, they've been taxing it for years. But they don't want journalists seeing it being traded. That's why we're filming from inside the car. You call yourselves an Islamic government, but you're allowing drug production. Isn't that hypocritical?
Under the Islamic Emirate, before 2001, the growing and selling of opium dropped to zero. Right now, we are trying to find alternatives. We can't take this away from people without offering them something else. Eradicating this is good for us in the international community, so the world should help too.
For years, poor farmers have relied on opium to provide for their families. Now, as Afghanistan's economy collapses without international support and water levels continue to drop, many see it as the safest crop to grow. Opium destroys a lot of people's lives. If opium is banned, what will happen to you guys and your families? The Taliban regularly haul these addicts off to rehab centres, but many end up straight back here. For now, more drugs look set to hit the streets, both in Afghanistan and across the world. Sikandar Kamani, BBC News, Afghanistan.